The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Friends of Fall Out Boy, Green Day. More on that in a second. Let's get the show started. It's Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the Morning Crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
Well, it's officially Fall Out Boy Day here in Chicago, playing Wrigley Field tonight.
It's crazy.
Can't believe, like I said, I feel like we've been talking about this show forever, and it's happening, and the last chance at tickets starts at 6:30 today. Every half hour, Brian and Kenzie here on Q101 give you a chance to qualify for a pair of tickets every half hour starting at 6:30. And then at 9:40, near the end of the show, we'll draw the tickets, and you are in to the party.
And this is it. Because we can't give you the tickets tomorrow.
It's over. This is it.
This show will be gone.
Yeah, the show's over. It'll be gone.
Yeah.
We will not have Morgan Wallen tickets every half hour tomorrow.
I am going to that as well. So it's going to be really busy. It's a busy week for me.
Might as well just stay at Wrigley Field. But and it's also the longest day of the year in Chicago, being the summer solstice, first day of summer. So it's a perfect night. It's going to be like 80, 88 degrees out there at Wrigley Field. It couldn't be more perfect. It worked out for having that show at Wrigley Field for our homeboys, Fall Out Boy, which makes me really happy. An Alkaline Trio and the Academy is. It's like Chicago Palooza out there. Today, 15 hours of sunlight. 15 hours.
You know what concerns me?
What's that?
Is that obviously we have to get up very early for the show.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm concerned that Fall Out Boy is going to wait till it gets dark. And now it's the longest amount of sun of the year.
Listen, last night, which is the second longest day of the year, the sun was kind of still out at 9:30. You can see the little blue in the sky. It wasn't black yet, the sky. So 15 hours, 13 minutes, 41 seconds of daylight today. And we're going to get it because it's not going to be cloudy and crappy. So what are you doing with the days today? Now, besides going to Fall Out Boy tonight, how are you going to take advantage of today, the longest day of the year?
Well, I plan on leaving the show and sleeping.
Oh.
Because I got to be up for the Fall Out Boy.
Does anybody else have anything better than leaving and taking a nap at 312-591-8300?
So sunny. I'm trying to nap.
Use blackout curtains. For people that work those late night shifts, I used to use duct tape and tape things over the curtains. I used to use a moving blanket and duct tape it over the window so it would be dark so I could sleep.
Chip clips in a blanket?
Yep. Chip clips.
That's what you should do.
Yeah, because I used to work overnights and you had to do that. I used to sleep all days to cover the windows. Couldn't have any kind of light popping through. You know?
Well, I just knock out. I don't care. I'll sleep in any.
Sleep on the floor, drool on the carpet.
Yeah, I could do it now.
Yeah. Well, if you don't want to lay down.
I do.
For the first hour here, give yourself a break, Kenzie. It'll be fine.
There's not that many people this early, right?
When you are excited about a concert, I don't know, it sounds like you're doing this because of our hours, but I want to take a little 20-minute crash. I want to be so ready for the show tonight or whatever you're doing at night. You just want to pass out a little bit and, get that
right. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to feel like I'm in misery because I stayed up this whole time and now it hurts.
Got a big can of Red Bull over here.
I'm not a Red Bull person.
Oh, God.
I got my coffee.
Okay, drink your Dunkin' there. You're going to be good.
Yeah.
But what are you doing with today, the longest day of the year? I want to know if anybody's doing anything special at 312-591-8300. I'm going to Nordstrom Rack after the show with Megan. I got to run a bunch of errands. She's leaving town tomorrow, taking the baby, and I got to, go to a bunch of stores, return some stuff. We're going to the post office to return something. I mean, this is the best day.
Post office?
This is the best day of the year.
Is it an Amazon return?
It's
you mean UPS?
It's a return that went through the mail, so we got to go back there to return it.
Oh, it's going to charge you. USPS does not have a great return policy.
I didn't know that.
I ordered a dress once, and it was like $20 to ship it back. I'm like, this is the worst.
I can't keep it, though.
I paid $15 for the dress.
I was going to say, you keep it, then you're trapped. Oh, boy. What's your day like today? Hit us up. Check it out because this is the best day in Chicago. We can't complain in 4 months when it's dark at 6 o'clock at night anymore. This is it. So what are you doing with the best, longest day of the year? Check in.
Taking a nap.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Longest day of the year here today with Chicago. 15 hours, a little more than that, of sunshine. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. What are you doing with it? Hey, Chef Sean checked in. Doctor's appointment. Yay. Kenzie talked about wanting to go take a nap. Brett checked in. For real, I haven't slept in years. I overslept yesterday, but I'm still tired. Try get a nap today like Kenzie later on before the Fall Out Boy show. That'd
Get
be great.
after it. Someone said they're going to Auntie Anne's. And listen, let me tell you something. The sweet almond pretzel is what you need to get.
Are there any of those that exist outside of a mall?
Yeah,
There are?
probably.
You sounded so firm. I thought you were going to tell me which one.
I don't know.
Is it
but-
worth going to the mall for Auntie Anne's?
Yes, I've actually done that.
Oh,
The
it
sweet
smells.
almond, though, because everyone knows about that cinnamon sugar. Everyone knows about the salty. The sweet almond is salty and sweet. It's both. Very underrated.
I like my sweet and salty separate. I like to eat them at the same time, but not in the same bite. That makes sense?
No.
I'm messed up.
God,
I understand.
You're such a pain in the butt.
I got a big problem. Brian checked in 630, said, I work till 3:30, then from 6 to 8, I have my equipment handout to start our football season again, the Plainfield Junior Cats.
Go Plainfield Junior Cats.
Whoop, whoop. Wait, they won the Super Bowl last year.
That's amazing.
Wow.
The Bears can't even do that.
Oh,
It's incredible.
I'm going to follow your team. You got to do that. Oh, yeah, listen, it's most sun today. Going to be 88 and sunny on the way to Fall Out Boy. Do something productive. Sounds like you guys are doing stuff. Like I said, I'm going to Nordstrom Rack to return something in the post office with Megan. I know.
And you made fun of my nap.
I know. I want a nap.
I'm not trying to be mean, but don't you think Nordstrom Rack at a post office stop is something that just one of you could do?
But I love her.
So all three are going?
We're all
It has to
going,
be-
yeah.
Okay.
Harper's got to experience this misery, too.
Okay.
Bring the baby along, too. It's Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
A little follow-up on Auntie Anne's. We're talking about the longest day of the year, what you're doing. One of our crew members heading over there. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. A lot of our listeners checked in, and this is one thing I miss about living in the burbs, Meijer. The store Meijer.
I go to Meijer all the time.
Oh, I love Meijer, and there's none in the city, not even that close. And somebody said they have Auntie Anne's inside Meijer.
But, which is crazy because my Meijer has no such thing. And now I have the ghetto Meijer. It sucks.
Is that the one in Elgin, or is it nearby?
The one in Elgin does not have an Auntie Anne's.
Well, that's terrible.
I know. There's Starbucks in front of it.
Yeah, I'd rather have an Auntie Anne's.
I know, me too. Inside of it?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Somebody texted in and said, did you know that the smell that goes to the mall, like of the Auntie Anne's, right?
Yep.
By the way, I never know how to say it. I'm like, Auntie Anne's,
Auntie
Auntie Anne's.
Anne's.
I don't know. But that it's root beer extract.
Is that what they cook the stuff in? The pretzels?
I don't know. Or they just squirting that around to make it smell different. I don't know.
They got on a Mr. fan, the root beer extract there to make it smell better. I don't know. So we had an employee that worked there. You can check in at 312-591-8300. We need to know all the secrets of Auntie Anne's. Coming up in just about 6 minutes, your first opportunity at Fall Out Boy tickets for tonight at Wrigley Field. It happens. It's here. Every half hour we qualify somebody. And in effect, that makes your brain just go, what's it do?
What's it do?
What's it do?
What's it do?
It goes like this.
There
That's
you
what it
go.
does. You want to live to 100?
No.
Eat Auntie Anne's.
Oh.
No. No. Here's the secret from someone that lived to 100. The exact secret to make sure you live a long life. We'll have that for you, too, coming up here after the break at 6:30.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, your first chance to qualify for tickets for Fall Out Boy tonight at Wrigley Field, 312-591-8300, caller 10. You are in the running. We'll draw the tickets at 9:40 today, and every half hour, we'll get a qualifier. So 7 a.m., you get it. Go through the whole morning, and you got them from Brian and Kenzie on Q101 to enjoy the festivities tonight. Finally here, Fall Out Boy with Q101. Now a fact that makes your brain go. Here with Brian and Kenzie. You want to live to 100? Kenzie says no.
I'm not sure how I feel with that.
A lot of people say that. I do. I want to be around as long as possible. Even if I'm on oxygen in a bed, I just want to know what's going on. I have FOMO. And I don't care if I'm miserable. I want to be here as long as I can. I believe in some kind of afterlife. I believe in God.
Okay.
But why rush to that? You know what I mean? And maybe if I'm wrong, it's just a dirt nap. And then I'm like, ugh.
Now you're super bored.
Yeah. Well, you're not there at all. So I want to be here as long as I can. I don't understand people to say, "Oh, I'll tap out at 75. I'm good."
Because I'm exhausted. I don't know.
But you can.
If things get better, maybe. But right now, I don't know if I'm gonna do this for that much longer.
Yeah. You've been here about 2 months.
I am worn down. I haven't been on this earth for 2 months, Brian.
Yeah, I know. So 28, I don't get that. I want to see where things are going. I want to know if we finally get sidewalks that are escalators like the Jetsons. I've been waiting for that forever. Flying cars. Sure, they say that we've been promised that since we were kids. It's not here. Society's kind of just pretty much the same except for our phone. You know what I mean?
It's not advanced enough for you?
No, it hasn't.
Well, I think it's advancing too fast. I think we're in trouble. Because of like AI and stuff. There's an AI radio DJ.
Okay.
That's not good.
Does that really keep you up at night?
I don't know. Whatever. I'll work at Auntie Anne's.
What's relating to living to 100 is what's going against you here on this one. This is a 100-year-old woman saying how she lived to 100. Okay?
Okay.
Here's what she says.
I have friends who are 20 years younger, 15 years younger, and their attitudes are going to cause them not to survive to my age. Their attitude is I don't see my kids more than once a week, or the food I was served was cold. If the food isn't quite right, have an extra dessert. If you hear from your children once a week, they call you once a week, you call them once a week. Change your attitude. I try my best not to sweat the small stuff and to have a positive attitude.
Positive attitude got her to 100. Not complaining about little things all the time.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But I'm so sleepy.
Well, that's part of it. I mean, I do what you got to do, Kenzie. I can't help you there. But yeah, having a positive attitude might get you to 100. And do you want to live to 100? Like I said, I want to live as long as possible. I want to be here. As the Titanic's going down, no pun intended, I want to be that last person on the end like Jack and Rose did, because Jack didn't know that she wasn't going to let him up on that raft and die. He thought he was going to make it.
Oh, he fell in love with the wrong chick, huh?
Yeah, he did. Speaking of which, we'll talk about that poor submarine that they still can't find and what the son of one of the guys on the boat did that's going to make you go, what the heck? I can't say it. It's Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
We talked about this yesterday. The submarine that went down to look at the Titanic, and some billionaires are on it, and they've lost it, and they've only got about a day and a half left of oxygen. There's been all kinds of organizations scouring the ocean by the Titanic wreckage to try to find this thing. To Kenzie's point yesterday, why can't they just use the Find My Phone for my AirPods? Because she can do that when they're in Elgin sitting there at home from here.
It's just a little confusing that they can't find an entire submarine.
It's terrible. But the parts of what happened here is fascinating. First off, this thing was controlled by a PS2 controller. Here's the guy that created the thing talking about it, okay?
It's got one button, and that's it. Yeah, so we run the sub with this game controller. It's made by Logitech, but it's basically a Sony PlayStation style controller. If you want to go forward, you press forward. If you want to go back, you press back. You want to turn to the left, it's like that. You want to turn to the right, you turn to the right.
Yep, we know how the controller works.
Is that Ben Shapiro? Who's saying that?
But this thing costs about $30 at GameStop, is running this sub that these people paid $250,000 to go on and go under. And one of the poor guys has his son there, too, and they're sitting there running out of air, and they can't find this little sub that is a piece of crap that took them down there. Now, they had to sign these documents that basically said they're going to die on the first page.
Okay, they have to sign something that says you could lose your life, this is extremely dangerous, and you're aware of that, but I want to see how fine that print was, because we've signed a lot of things, both you and I, Brian. Have you ever read the sheets?
I've tried to read through, and I get bored like 2 pages into the 18 pages of our contract, but this said right on the front page, basically, there was 3 ways you can die in this thing. It was pretty obvious. I don't think it was like on, page 19. By the way, this thing isn't built well. You're going to die.
It's not what it said.
Pretty close. Pretty close when you went through it. Some guy, there's so many people that had so many red flags on this deal. The producer of The Simpsons, actually went on a test run of this thing and said, it looked so scary, I did not decide to go on it because of what I saw. Now, a lot of interesting things have happened since then. First off, the guy that created this thing is... there's a guy named Stockton Rush. That's the guy that was talking about the controller.
Okay.
Is that the ultimate rich guy name, by the way?
Stockton Rush. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, he's not broke.
Yeah, well, he's actually on the thing, too. So he's down there.
Oh.
So he's in trouble.
He can't fix it?
Yeah, the CEO is down there, the guy who created this thing, and he's down there. So I guess it's not that he just ripped everybody off. Like, he's in trouble, too. Like, he could end up...
Too bad they weren't filming that show. Oh, what's that show where the Undercover Boss? Because there would have been a whole film crew. We would have known exactly where they were.
That would have been amazing.
It would have been perfect.
Now, another angle on this is a kid whose stepdad is on the sub, went to go see Blink-182.
Like last night.
Yeah, he went saying basically that, my family would have wanted me to go in the situation.
Would they have?
I don't think so. He said he's devastated, but he's coming to San Diego for the show tonight, so you guys can give me hope and cheer me up. That's what he posted. To go to the Blink-182 show while his stepdad is on the sub, probably gasping for air, missing, and going to die.
Let me tell you something. Even if we're going to look at this from kind of not a good person point of view, way to fumble the ball. Like, you're getting real close to Will territory, and you pull a move like that. Not very smart. Not very smart.
Well, also your dad, people that are on this thing are rich. So if dad survives and find out you went to the Blink-182 show while he was dying, are you out of the will?
There's a lot of very, very stupid, not planning for the future moves coming from the stepson.
The long con.
Blink-182's on tour. Go next week.
Yeah.
You know for sure what's happening.
If he's gone, you could say, in memory of my dad, I went to go see Blink-182 because he loved all the small things. Something like that.
Cute.
But here's, of all people are commenting on this kid that went to Blink-182 while his dad's on the sub. Cardi B.
God, I love her.
Cardi B chimed in on her take on this kid and the dad.
Okay, so one of the billionaires that's missing on the water from that submarine, one of the billionaires, their stepson, is at a concert, right? At a Blink-182 concert. And people is like, well, what is he supposed to do? Be sad at the house? Is he supposed to go look for himself? Yes. You're supposed to be at the house sad. You're supposed to be crying for me. You're supposed to be right next to the phone waiting to hear any updates about me. You're supposed to be counseling your mom and like, isn't it sad that you a whole billionaire and nobody gives a about you? Like you missing and is ready to shake at concert. That's crazy. I'd rather be broke. I'd rather be broke than and poor, but knowing that I'm loved.
I got you. Well said, Cardi B. Well said.
It is. It gets to the point, and it's so true, because, what a little piece of crap. They only have air for 92 hours or something, right?
Yeah, I read about that. About a day and a half left.
Yeah. You couldn't have waited it out the full 92 hours. It's not like they had air for 4 months, and you're like, I got to do something here. What a piece of crap kid.
I will say Blink was awesome and reunited for the first time in 10 years. But I can't take his side on this one. He could have waited and find out.
He went to a different way. You're telling me that family doesn't have money for him to fly to a different venue in a week and see them there?
I really want to know more on this kid's history, on how, did he skip other things? All the way through life?
I just looked at him and was like, oh.
Yeah.
He just looks like a spoiled brat. And then in the caption to be like, pray for me. Pray for you, your little billionaire self, and Blink-182. I have a lot of other people to pray for.
Your dad's going like this right now. Well, you're going, all the small things.
And instead of pray for my dad, you're like, pray for me, man. It's tough right now.
Yeah, it's real tough on me out there. There you go. We'll keep this story updated as we go along in the morning. Hopefully they find the people and everybody lives and it's happy. And then he can come back and spank his son.
That's creepy.
I don't care how old he is. No, he needs a spanking.
That's creepy. You just leave him out of the will.
It's Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
We're just talking about the kid whose his stepdad, is on the submarine that's missing. That went to look at the Titanic. Got about a day and a half oxygen left. He went to Blink-182. I'm really a little shocked on the crew members text line. A lot of people checking in. Oh, come on. It's just the stepdad.
Which is really kind of a messed up thing. Because now, I don't know when he came into his life or all that, but if you spend your life raising a kid to be like, oh, who cares? It's your stuff. That's a really crappy outlook, to be honest.
Even if it's a year in. Your mom loved him enough to marry him.
Yeah, do you care about your mom going through this at the time?
Listen.
Also, if this guy was a bad guy, if the billionaire, which I mean, it's a billionaire, so maybe it was a bad guy, this kid posted that he is going through a hard time and he's going to the show to cheer him up. He could have said, hey, not close with the guy. He's the devil.
Yeah.
It's none of my business. But he didn't. He goes like, this is so hard for me. And I'm at Blink-182 to try to make my life better. So
Double Features Mike checked in his defense. His stepson, maybe he hates his stepdad, which I said, maybe he hates his stepdad, but he is sleeping with his mom. So maybe.
Right. How does your mom feel at that time? It's still a hard time for your family.
Yeah.
As a whole.
By the way, I know a lot of guys whose stepdads are way better than their real dads. Way better.
That's what I'm saying.
I know a lot, and maybe I'm in the minority there of people that care about stepdads.
Mm-hmm.
Our listeners can chime in if you're like me. Maybe you have a great stepdad you want to shout out at 312-591-8300 because almost everybody I know that has a stepdad is better. They like him better than the real dad, their biological dad, I should say.
So you can't just all of a sudden, just step-parent. Like, step-parents are out here doing the work. I'm just saying.
Some of them are. Some
suck. Just
Yeah.
like some parents suck.
That's right.
But just because you're a biological parent does not make you a good parent. It doesn't.
Just because your biological dad isn't on the sub, almost drowning, let's not give him a pass in this situation.
Right.
Also, you could be right. Maybe he hates his stepdad.
Maybe he's a really bad stepdad.
And that's why he went
There's
to
also
Blink.
that potential.
Maybe he wanted Mark Hoppus to be his dad. And he dreamed about it, so he goes to Blink instead. I wish you were my dad.
Well, whatever. A lot of girls wish that too. Hey.
Gil, how about doing headlines here?
This is not headline news. Today is the first day of summer. You can tell because Target just put up their Halloween displays. Today is Prince William's birthday, or as Prince Harry calls it, Wednesday. Drew Taggart of the Chainsmokers revealed he's addicted to alcohol. I would have guessed cigarettes, but okay. Eminem's daughter got married. You can tell it was an incredibly happy moment for him because he almost grinned. And Chris Allen, winner of Season 8 of American Idol, turns 38 today. If you have no idea who he is, that's because he won Season 8 of American Idol. This is not headline news.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.